Do you ever open Instagram and you see some of the most amazing artwork of your entire life, and then you read the caption and it's just adding all this depth and intrigue and interest into this character or illustration that you just came across? So then you leave a like and then you go click on the person's profile, and unfortunately, as you're scrolling, you slowly realize one of two things. This person either only does commissions or they're working a 9 to 5, whether that be in the art career field or not. Now, am I the only person, or does everyone get like just the teensiest little bit mad? Not so much mad at the person, but more so upset and disappointed that this interesting and intriguing world that stopped you in your tracks for the day, now you understand it's only ever going to exist in the occasional illustration that is there to promote the person's commissions. Now, before we get too into things, if you don't know, I'm Nani. I'm an IMDb credited story artist turned writer, and I kind of want to rant a little bit today about why I don't like that, and many people don't like that, and how I think artists can utilize writing as a way to create a mutual benefit with their artwork between themselves as the artist and the people who consume it. Now, we're all adults here, so I fully understand everyone has bills to pay. Groceries are expensive. With the time that we do have left at the end of the day, not everyone has time or mental effort and energy to expend into learning any new skill, much less a difficult and nuanced skill such as writing. But if you give me a few minutes of your time today, I'm going to debunk these two thoughts within your perspective of this topic. In the face of 26 rounds of an interview just to be told that they're not moving forward with you, constant layoffs, corporate higher-ups creating creative restrictions for the artist who they deemed qualified to put in the positions of creative direction of a project, and then countless uses of AI and forcing said artists to use AI, I feel like a bit of an opportunity has come around in the industry. Not only are audiences tired and bored with the same narratives being reworked and remade and repackaged, the artists and other creatives making and working on these projects are tired of it as well. Everyone is ready for fresh, new ideas that feel like they were made by humans and not the contrived thoughts of some corporate figureheads trying to force a mold between a random sentence that one of them made and whatever AI spewed out. And this is exactly where you come in. You already have the illustrations and various other artworks, the character OC sheets, the world, the ideas. All you need to do is gather it all together and package it into some form of story or narrative and push it to your audience. Now, you may be thinking, okay, so once I make the story, how do I make money from it? I don't have any kind of book deal or book publisher, and I don't have an entire animation studio. And my answer here is, how is it that we are so creative when it comes to our personal artwork? You know, the sky is the limit, but when it comes to making money from something, we just box ourselves in. It makes no sense. It's completely absurd. But as someone who has been in that fellow mindset, let me break it down really quick. So if you're creating some type of comic book or graphic novel, or even a novel, you can do an ebook publishing, self-published type of thing on your own website or through Patreon or Gumroad or something. Or you can upload chapters and have it on a locked page on your website that only unlocks through the paywall. If you're wondering how to get people hooked on your narrative, I would suggest first having a free pilot, so to say. The first episode of whatever comic, or maybe the first chapter or so of your novel should be free, and you should promote that everywhere. And once people become interested in that, then they're more likely to make a purchase. As for anyone who's trying to do some form of animation or a film, then I strongly suggest doing some form of almost like a live screening through some type of streaming platform, or should I say some type of platform that you can stream live content from. Maybe it's a closed Twitch live stream where you show the entire film in high definition and everyone has a very specific movie ticket, so to say, and it's just an access code. But really, the sky is the limit. You could even go as far as to do in-person events. There are people who I've worked with in the film industry here in LA who host block parties that are kind of like movie screenings. They'll have their movie and a bunch of other indie movies playing, and there's food and music and everything. It could be an entire event, or it could be something smaller. Be as creative and unique to your specific situation as you possibly can. So now that you're sold on the idea of stepping away from recycled narratives or just doing commissions, and you believe in your story idea and you believe that you can make money from it, now you're probably at your last question, which is, well, it takes a long time to learn how to write, so how do I learn the skill of writing? And that segues perfectly into my next point. There are free resources out there everywhere. You can read books on writing from your local library or go to a local bookstore. There's plenty of channels on YouTube about the topic. There's people on Instagram teaching it in 30-second reels. But if you want something that is specific to the journey between being an artist and finding that pathway to creating a narrative around your artwork, then look no further, because that is the exact same journey that I undertook when I first started learning how to write, coming from someone who has a background specifically in art. And it's in this unique bridging between artwork and writing that poses a difficulty for people going along this journey, as opposed to someone just learning how to write and becoming a writer. And that's why I created this guide, because it's not only for people out there who may be struggling with the exact same thing, it's also for myself, because I am one of those struggling people. Even at this stage in my career, I still struggle a lot of the times with how to take the artwork that I've created and merge that into a story and have both of them influence one another. This guide is meant to walk you through from start to finish of your story idea, whether that be a sketch, an illustration, a scene idea, or just the plot idea. And depending on your start point, the book has you hop from chapter to chapter, learning the educational foundations of writing, and then you complete the accompanying workbook section that tells you how to integrate these ideas and concepts into your writing and how it should apply to your process as you plot and create the visuals for your characters. And not only does this help you create words and writing to go along with your established artwork, it also tells you how to take your words and writing and turn it into visuals for your story world. A perfect example is somewhere along the world building chapter, you might come up with an idea for a creature, but instead of immediately having the visuals of what you want that thing to look like, you might only have the words to describe it. So it's important to be able to know how to take those words and turn it into visuals. Then to top it off for ease of the process, I included some of my favorite writer's block and artist block exercises that I've found always end up remedying whatever blockage within my flow of thought that I have. Now, I know that we don't know each other, and I'm just another stranger on the internet in a world full of scammers and AI-generated slop. But because of that, I've created a free sample of the full-size guide. It covers all of the introductory chapters that show you how to utilize the guide. It also contains the first chapter of educational writing foundations And then it contains 3 each of the writing and artist block exercises. This free sample gives you a full scope of what to expect from the guide itself. If you want to check out either of those, they'll be linked below. And now to get on to probably your last question, which is probably more like a statement or a complaint, because I've been there too, which is, well, I kind of envision my work being a bit more widely broadcasted. I would like to see my comics sitting inside of Barnes & Noble, and I would like to see my animation televised. And my answer to that is me too, and a lot of other people. And that's not so much in a condescending way, but just we're not necessarily there yet. And it's really not just us, because many people who are in much closer proximity to the industry that they want to climb the ladder of have been experiencing this as well. Most notably, Keke Palmer. She's been very open about the period of time in her career where she wasn't really receiving the roles that she was trying to be casted in. So rather than kind of hanging her head down and just quitting altogether during this dry season, she decided to turn to social media and direct and create the roles that she wanted to work in. And it gained traction. It was wildly successful. And as we already know now, she's kind of risen further in her career than she was originally. And the funny part is, now the roles that she's receiving are far greater than what she was fighting for to begin with. And that's the funny thing about life. Sometimes the road that you need to walk down isn't already paved. Sometimes you have to be the pioneer of this new path before other people can understand it and see the value in it. In the meantime, you shouldn't stunt your creative growth and creative expression just waiting for a publisher or a showrunner to pluck your idea and your world from obscurity. You should be actively driving these ideas forward and putting them out there, sharing them with the audience that wants them now, rather than hoping that someone will come along and give a voice to your work and that the audience will be there to receive it later. And given everything that we already see, now is the best time to bet on yourself. And this isn't just me saying this to make everyone feel better. I have to remind myself of this too when I feel scared or panicked or feel like, well, maybe I should just work on a different project. Maybe I should try and get hired for some other role, even though I've faced so much rejection. Sometimes that just feels a little safer, but I've been making it a priority of mine to take time to do the hard things, to do things even when they're a little bit scary or challenging, and to just stick with it and see what happens. Because in the face of all of this rejection, should I reject myself too? So thank you for tuning into my little rant. And again, for anyone who's interested, my full guide is $35 off for the entirety of the month of April. So if you want to pick it up, go ahead and check out the link in this check out the link in the description of this video. If you want to check out the free sample first to see if you would even like the full guide or if it would even be useful to you, that will be linked down there as well. And if you're not a beginner writer and you have some more writing experience, or I've just encouraged you to work on those creative projects for this year, you can go ahead and check out my Gamified Notion template. And again, all of this will be linked in the description box of this video. And if you like this video, be sure to tune in tomorrow because I'll be uploading a video going over how artists can begin to turn their ideas and artwork into entire stories. Thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye!